If you're an owner of a Nintendo Switch, you're no stranger to this screen. JoyCons not working, suddenly drifting. Are you surprised after all this time it finally hit you? Don't be. It's a common problem and everyone's dealing with it. Sadly, with COVID-19 going on, it's very hard to get it covered under warranty by Nintendo. In fact, I've been waiting now 2 months to get a response back from Nintendo to send back our JoyCons, because unfortunately, I've got 2 pair, and both of them, or at least the left JoyCons, are not working. So desperate for a solution, I took to the interwebs and tried to find a solution. Believe it or not, sometimes the most simplest solution works. I tried this fix on another pair of JoyCons that I have, where the drift was not as bad, but could be very troubling while playing any kind of game, especially anything with any kind of precision. On this one here, you can see that the drift is still there. It comes back every once in a while, nothing too crazy. I have not performed the fix on this one. Honestly, I'm not sure if it'll work. It worked surprisingly well on the other JoyCon that had substantial drift, but I wanted to take you through the quick steps of how to fix it. Relatively cheap, relatively easy, using no special tools other than maybe, one of these, high-tech, high-performing plastic knives, or anything small and thin, like a screwdriver, to get into the necessary components of the JoyCon, so that way you can perform the fix. Very simple. Problem with these JoyCons is the way they're designed, and probably many other joysticks as well, is it relies on a metal contact rubbing up against a carbon type connector. Over time, motion, friction, it wears out, creates a dust, and it causes a coating that all of a sudden removes the connectivity between the contacts that are necessary for the JoyCon to work. So what we end up doing is using a simple, believe it or not, a blower like this. We can simply blow the dust out of the JoyCon and hopefully make the connections work again completely. So first comes things first, take the JoyCon out, and we're all familiar what a JoyCon looks like. But if you look closer at the joystick itself, there's a small little little rubber piece that's right here. That's kind of like a dust shield, okay? What you want to do is you want to pull that apart, or pull it away from the plastic piece here. Bear with me, it's a little hard, I'm doing this kind of upside down. But you want to open this area up. So now, in order to do this, you're going to have to use 2 hands, and sometimes even a 3rd hand, to basically hold this open. While it's open, using a blower of some sort, just give it a couple squeezes. What I recommend doing, and what I found, is doing it from all 4 sides, or do it in an X, left, right, top, and bottom. And just keep opening it. Again, it's very difficult to do, but leaving it open enough, blow in the air. Give it a nice couple squeezes. Flip it, do it again. Again, opening up this area, quite difficult. To find the right angle to get in there. Again, you don't even need that much of an opening, just enough to get the blower in there to just send a jet stream of, clean, dry air. That's why it may not be a good idea to use a can of air, because a can of air, if you hold it the wrong angle, you might get some liquid in there. It probably won't cause any problems, but it might be too hard of a jet stream of air. But it'll certainly blow things around. You don't want to blow it around so it actually ends up disconnecting something that's important. So, leaving this open like so. And again, give it a nice couple of shots. And any kind of flat piece of plastic, something that won't mar the unit, so you won't have any problems later on, or even if you want to send it back for warranty, because something like this shouldn't void the warranty, because you're not doing any kind of construction or disassembly to the unit itself, right? And you just get in there, try to get in there at all angles. On the other joystick, I did it a couple of times. I moved it around to hopefully move all the contacts again. And again, get in there, open this up a little bit, and give it another quick blow. And hopefully that works. So now we ended up just connecting it. And hopefully we get lucky to the point. Well, it's still, now, unfortunately, it looks like it's still not great. So I'm going to give it another couple of goes and see if it works better. But it seems like this up motion is getting most of the problem. Left and right look good. Down is okay. Down, nope, down is drifting as well. So it's up and down motions are drifting. So we're going to take it out again, see if we can make it work. Let's see. It's a very tight location too. Unfortunately, I don't know how well you can see this. Try to make it better zoom. But if you look, it's not a whole lot of motion. You can't really, a lot of area rather, to get in there, to clean it. So you have to be creative in what to do and how to hold it. I'm sorry, but the camera angles, bear with it. All right. So try that. Maybe, just maybe, well, I might have a working Joy-Con. One thing I did also do after fixing the other ones, I did do a calibration of, I did do an update controllers just to make sure. Both of my Joy-Cons were updated, so we were fine with that. But that's always probably one of the first things you should try is an update, and then of course a recalibration. So looking at this, left and right, working just like it was, and up and down, unfortunately, it's actually, it's a little better. It's a little sticky, but it seems like it might be working. So we can try recalibrating it. Maybe just a recalibration might work. That's not looking promising. All right. All right, calibration is complete. So let's see. We can already see it's starting to drift now. So this Joy-Con might have seen its last days. Or maybe not. So, as you can see, it's not as good as, well, it's not as bad as it was. It's not as good as new, but it's certainly better than what it was. So this is definitely something you can use. Now, of course, well, no, I think this Joy-Con has had enough, unfortunately. Well, in this case, this repair did not work. So what we will end up doing is replacing the joystick, or the Joy-Con, or rather the joystick in the Joy-Con. I bought an Amazon unit to replace it with. We're going to do that on this one. When we did the fix on this Joy-Con, which was the same thing on the left-hand side, it actually worked very, very well. I mean, it's very minor drift, so if you're not in a position to change the unit, or you don't want to avoid a warranty, this might be your first resort. You know, just a little air, you know, shooting it into the unit to see if you can get it to work. You might be able to breathe some life, so to speak, back into a Joy-Con without going crazy. Again, it worked for me on one, didn't work for me on this one, as you can see here. So it's about a 50-50 repair rate for me. Possibly your luck might be better. All right, take care, guys.
If you like my dad's video, don't forget to like and subscribe.